Hello. I just wanted to make sure the mic works before other people log on.
It works.
Yay!
I can hear you.
Good.
How come you don't have a picture?
Oh, because I'm sharing my screen right now. Because I'm logged in as Emoti-Con instead of myself.
Oh, okay.
Um, so that I did it so it will broadcast to the Emoti-Con YouTube channel, so I won't have to like move it from my
Mhm.
mouse channel to there. I also realized I'm making hand gestures right now, and you can't see me because I'm sharing my screen.
I'm imagining you making hand gestures, though. Yay, sharing your screen. Cool, Brian's gonna walk by in a second also.
Yeah. I remember I forgot to fill out the thing about, or actually I put away the thing about the keynote pre-talk thing because I was
Hmm.
like, oh, I want to do it, but I'm not a tech teacher, so I don't have a topic.
Right, that was the
So,
thing we were struggling with was
well, I'm writing it right now.
Hmm.
I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, well, just pair me up. My whole thing is I have analog solutions for lots of stuff, so.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot you could do with that still. Just hi Beth.
Right?
um, I think there's still a lot you could do with that, and I would totally say that like Mark is also really good at brainstorming that stuff. If you wanted to just like give him a call or something, like I think it's really
I'll
flexible.
hit him up before I solidify that I'll just be a backup. Because I feel like I would like to lead a table. I don't want to be,
Yeah.
Off topic.
or just not techy enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are also trying to emphasize the media side more. Like we're working with our Urban Arts Partnership as part of that, and I think has had some good ideas for that as well. And like in the past, we've had kids from like Radio Rookies who always have really awesome contributions and stuff. So I think that maybe also talking about how you have gotten by in these increasingly tech-heavy mediums as a professional without having that kind of formal background could be really valuable for a lot of kids.
Got you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing I'm saying anyway.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Um, so it's just about 12. Hi, Beth. So these are actually
Hi.
two of the judges who are here with us today, Pamela and Dialect. Beth works for New York Public Library, and she runs awesome maker spaces.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you as well. Yeah. Um, And I might just give it another minute or two because there are a bunch of other people who'd RSVP'd who aren't logged on yet. But who knows what a Google Plus RSVP is worth in this day and age anyway.
It's a
Um,
little more than a Facebook invite, but not much. You're raking them. Because you really
yeah.
have Google Plus to say, yes, I'm going to Google Plus event.
Oh, that's true.
It's not like Facebook where you're like, hey.
Mm,
Oh, wait, that's not true. No,
yeah.
because I have a Google thing that I never use, and people invite me stuff on it, and it sends to my email, and then
You say yes.
I click a thing, and then I never see Google Plus again.
Oh, my theory's wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. It also automatically adds to people's calendars if they're using Google Calendar, which I'm hoping
Oh,
will be a good reminder for folks. Let me just double check that nobody's emailed me being like, I can't log on. Okay.
That's drawing money. You could use that drawing.
I think that's Alex.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Jeez.
How's it going, everyone?
Good.
Cool.
So maybe I'll just start in a minute anyway, and anyone who's late can watch it later on YouTube. um, I mean, basically, the plan for today was, unfortunately, it's not going to be as awesome as when we had teens running a session of this nature, but just to sort of give an overview of what the day of Emoti-Con is like so that you can know what to expect and if you're bringing youth, can help youth prepare. and then also talk a little bit about sort of the registration and judging process, so you can have an idea of like how to get your projects ready and just know what that process is more. One of the reasons we do this is, well, hopefully it's helpful. We've also gotten feedback in the past that there have been educators who are hesitant to bring their youth to Emoti-Con because they feel like they don't know what to expect from the day or how to help their youth prepare and feel comfortable and excited and ready for it. So, so here we are. And just in case, probably everyone here knows, my name is Naomi Solomon. I'm on the steering committee for Emoti-Con, and I'm gonna pull up some slides, but so let me just see 1 second. Okay. So everyone can see that, right? Can you all see the slides? Okay, cool. For some reason, it's asking me to present to everyone after I have it. Anyway, whatever. You can see it. Great. Like I said, I'm just gonna do sort of a quick run through of what's the day like, how do you get ready, what does registration mean, all of that. If you have questions at any point, please feel free to chime in or use the chat, whatever. I'll keep an eye on that as well, whatever you prefer. Oh no, my amazing icebreaker didn't load. Okay, so I heard a really cheesy joke that I'll tell you the source of it after I say it, but it was like, you know, how much does a polar bear weigh? And the answer is, I don't know, but sometimes. Thanks, Alex. Enough to break the ice, exactly. Thank you to Josh Groban, who said that that's his favorite pickup line. It's the only time I'll ever quote Josh Groban. I don't know why I didn't show up. Hopefully, never mind. I forgot I did a fancy thing. Sorry. Anyway, I don't know. But a real icebreaker, just to get a feel for who's here, because it can be weird over the internet to have this kind of meetup. If we could just have everyone say your name, your affiliation, and why you're here today, whether there's something in particular you're hoping to find out, a question or interest you have in Emoti-Con, anything you'd like to share. So yeah, I'm Naomi Solomon. I'm the Learning Network Manager at Mouse, and I'm on the steering committee for Emoti-Con, so I'm one of the main organizers for the event every year. I can call on people if you want, or people can just unmute themselves if they... Yeah, yeah, go for it.
Go ahead, Dialect.
Hey.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm Dialect. I'm with Pockets Change and Urban Art Beat. I'm one of the judges here. I'm here to learn more stuff.
Hi, my name is Pamela Capalid. I'm with Pockets Change, a financial literacy workshops for youth, and I'm here to get more background on how the Emoti-Con day goes. So excited to judge.
Sure. Can we just popcorn, I guess?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you hear me okay? I apologize in advance if I was awkwardly ignoring anyone earlier. I couldn't hear any audio, and I just got it.
No.
But I'm Zach Margolis with NYPL. I run a middle school innovation labs program in Harlem, and I'm excited to learn more about Emoti-Con and how to get my kids to bring some awesome projects there.
Awesome. Thanks. Beth, you want to go?
Yes, I'm Beth. I'm also from NYPL, and I have the exact same objectives as my colleague Zach. I want to know my students. Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, I'll unmute to say yay.
Judicious use of the unmute. Nice.
I can go. My name is Alex Fleming. I'm a learning design coordinator at Mouse, and I'm here because I'm curious about what's happening this Emoti-Con and hope to be helpful in any way because I've been to a lot and they're a lot of fun.
Cool, thank you. And I'm Liza Stark. I'm from Institute of Play. I'm a game designer here, and we haven't run a ton of after school recently in the last couple of years, and we're just starting to run a few more, so we're super excited to be back at Emoti-Con this year.
Awesome. Thanks. It looks like there are also a couple of people viewing on YouTube. So YouTube viewers, if at any point you want to chime in, you can send me a chat over Google Chat to naomi@mouse.org. That's NAOMI @mouse.org, and the little notification pingy sound is turned on. So I will hear it if you send me a chat, and I'll respond out loud. Great. So thanks so much for being here, everybody. It's really awesome. I'm so excited for this year's Emoti-Con. This is actually going to be my 5th Emoti-Con. It's the 7th annual, and it's just always such a really fun and exciting event, and it's so cool. I mean, we get a small sampling here, just seeing everyone who's logged on right now, but it's so cool to see this sort of cross-section of educators and youth working in technology and media in New York City, and to get a taste of all the amazing projects that folks are working on, sort of in their own corners. Emoti-Con's a partnership, and I'm with Mouse. We're one of the founding organizations. Mouse, Parsons, and New York Public Library are the founding members that are still working on the event, and then we have some amazing new members who've come in over the years that you see there on the screen. But really Emoti-Con happens because of all the amazing participants, and it wouldn't be what it is without all the incredible organizations that bring their youth, that bring their projects, and that share their feedback over the years also. So one of the other reasons that we try to do this kind of meetup or webinar or conversation before Emoti-Con every year is that we do change it sort of incrementally every year based on feedback that we receive, based on how we see folks interacting with the event, and we're really excited to share the newest iteration this year. So just to give you some idea of why we do this, what everything is geared towards, our steering committee came up with a list of objectives for Emoti-Con. These are the outcomes that we're looking for with this event, and the ones that are larger and in bold are the ones that were most compelling when we surveyed the Hive community, so that were most compelling to people and that people felt most strongly about. So just to give you an idea of sort of why we do this, like what is this here for, and what do we hope to get for youth to get out of the day. And I'll also share these slides afterwards if anyone's interested in seeing them. So what is Emoti-Con? One of the major goals is building connections. So one of the things that we're really excited to introduce this year, and that actually if any of you were logged on earlier and heard Pamela and Dialect discussing it, is we're actually going to have some time that's explicitly set aside for youth to connect with the judges. We get this amazing pool of judges every year who are professionals in a ton of different fields who are all somehow interacting with digital media and technology in their professional lives, and they donate their time to come out and review projects and share feedback with students. And this year, we, in having these conversations about what can make the event better and more impactful for youth, one of the things we realized is that it's just not quite enough time for youth to really make those connections and to have it be, and we really want to ramp up that exchange. So we're going to actually kick off the day this year with a 45-minute networking block where different judges and speakers will each will be at tables with topics that they've selected, and youth can come over and ask them questions, have a conversation with them, hear a little bit about their professional background, their recommendations, their ideas and passions, and deepen that connection. So that's something that we are really excited about introducing this year. Emoti-Con is really fun. Every year we also, early in the day, have an original team challenge that is designed by our youth committee, the Design Fellows. It's always really fun and pretty ridiculous. Last year it had to do with stacking cups and answering trivia questions. This year I'm just going to tell you the game is called Pineapple. It's really great. We're actually going to be previewing it if anyone's coming to the Digital Ready Maker Party on May 11th at DCTV. We're going to be previewing it there as well. So it's a lot of fun, and it's really, a big part of setting the tone for the day, and that we're just excited to have people together and want opportunities for folks to connect on all kinds of different levels. We bring in amazing speakers every year. This is one of our keynote speakers from last year, who's Anil Dash. We actually just got confirmation on our final lineup, and you can see them all at emoticon.org for this year. We're really excited to have Nick Fortuna, indie game designer, as one of our keynotes. Ultimus Doha is our youth keynote for the year, and he has done amazing work with iBeam and is now joining a program at Parsons. And our third keynote is Minerva. I can't remember her last name, but she's also really amazing. And she works for Do It. So she'll be talking about how essential technology and new developments in technology are to the functioning of New York City. So it's, again, just a really great opportunity for youth to kind of get a taste of what's out there, what career paths are available, to hear some background about how do you get from here to there, and what does it mean, and what are the options, and get excited. Most important to the day, we have an amazing project fair. So youth bring their projects, they set up tables, they often bring posters. We really encourage bringing posters and other visuals to really show off the project and also demonstrate the design process. One question we get sometimes is like, what kind of project is a good fit? What if a project is still sort of in the prototyping stage? That's all great. We actually love seeing the design process, and we're totally happy to have projects that are in all stages of the design process at Emoti-Con. These are just some quotes from youth who participated in Emoti-Con in the past and who are now on our Design Fellows team. So these are teens who have been working, and I'll talk a little more about their role, and you'll definitely see them. They'll be very visible at Emoti-Con. But just a little bit of what they said about what it's like to be at Emoti-Con, what inspired them to get more involved, and what they would want other teens to know before coming. So just, that it's really amazing to see the amount of interest that that people have in their projects. And to have fun and to meet different people and to have that opportunity to show their work and get real feedback and see their peers' work. So definitely a lot of excitement. And then there's feedback from professionals as part of the project fair as well. So youth will be circulating throughout the day, throughout the fair to see each other's projects. They'll be at their tables to show off their own projects, and we'll have that panel of judges. The judges are broken into pairs, and they'll be circulating and together and checking out a set of pre-assigned projects. So I'll talk a little more about the registration process in a couple minutes, but basically we try to prep our judges as much as possible so that they'll have some context for the projects that they're reviewing. So we give them everything that you tell us about the project when you register. We give straight to them, and then they'll come around, they'll ask questions, they'll give some notes. Part of what they do is selecting winners, but part of it is also that they're really there to have a conversation about the projects with youth and to share their professional opinions and ideas for next steps. And as you saw from the previous quotes, it's a really exciting process for students to be involved in. Or in this slide, you can see it's a very exciting process. And I can't emphasize enough, they're a really amazing panel. We also work really hard to make sure that our judges are not only experts in their fields and really amazing innovators and developers and designers, but also people who have great context for working with youth and are able to give really strong feedback that is really helpful and encouraging and supportive of the teens who are attending. That said, we do have a judging rubric. So there are 8 different categories that judges look at, and they'll get this rubric in advance, and they'll have a way to keep track for every project. So, and again, the project fair isn't just about the competition, and the judges' presence there isn't just about judging, but one of the big questions that we get so often is like, what is the deal with the competition? How does it work? How can I have my students prepare? So we want to share this stuff in advance and be as transparent as possible with it. So here are some of the things that judges look at when they look at projects. How well the project aligns with the stated goal, the level of technical mastery. So whatever field the project is in, we get all projects from all different mediums. We have had robotics projects, assistive technology projects, green technology projects, podcasts, interactive ebooks, basically art technology projects. I don't have a better way to describe them, but we've seen really amazing art made with technology. So the fields are broad. And then originality or creativity of project. Other things we look at, the aesthetic value, usability and accessibility. So does it work for the person it's designed for? The vision, so thinking about how would the designer move forward with this project. So some of this is based on what they ask lots of questions and ask students to sort of give them their pitch, and some of it is drawn directly from your registration form. And lastly, on the rubric, we have the student's presentation and pitch during the project fair. So, how fluently can students talk about their project? What are they sharing? And then the overall impression, so something that we leave to the judge's expertise. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. All right. So there's a competition, and I just am going to keep saying that we totally welcome and encourage youth to bring their projects regardless of whether they want to compete. The project fair is above all a project fair, but again, the competition and how it works is something that we get questions about most often, so that's why I'm spending so much time on it. This year there's a slight change to the judging process. So in the past, they would nominate winners and the audience would vote for who gets what category. This year, because of a couple factors, we're actually having judges select the winners for these 5 categories. So based on the points from that rubric we just looked at, they'll review all the projects, they'll deliberate together, and actually this year we're also, for the first time, because we've been so overwhelmed by the growing volume of amazing projects, every year Emoti-Con has grown larger and larger. My first year, I think we had just under 20 projects. Last year we had 42, so we've grown hugely. And so we want to have the flexibility to recognize more amazing work. So actually this year, for the first time, we're also going to have a runner-up for every category. So there will be a winner for every category and a runner-up for every category. The 5 winners, the 5 category winners, will have the opportunity to present their projects on the main stage to the entire crowd. And then the youth will vote and select a crowd favorite from that group of 5 finalists. We have some words. We have a few members of last year's crowd favorite team on the Design Fellows Youth Committee this year, so they were very excited to share what it was like to be a finalist. They did a great presentation. All 5 of the finalists last year were really incredible. So that's just a little bit about what they had to say about the experience of getting up on stage. And this was a group from Baruch College Campus High School. Their project was a solar-powered cell phone charger, like a pocket-sized solar-powered cell phone charger. And their presentation was phenomenal. They did a really great job up there. So in addition to trophies and medals, we also use digital badging for Emoti-Con. So every student who presents a project, regardless of whether they participate in the competition, whether they become a finalist or a runner-up, they'll be getting a badge. Students who are finalists also get an award badge. These will all be updated with our 2015 art very soon. And you can see all of these and see a description of each of these of previous winners for all of these categories at emoticon.org. Also, that's emota-con.org. So just a little background on why we award digital badges. Emoti-Con happens only once a year, but the impact is eternal. Okay, maybe not eternal, but the impact is really strong. And what we want to do is provide youth with a way to share their accomplishments and share their pride in their work year-round, and a way of also connecting sort of their online identities with this work that they've presented in the real world. It's also a way to think about sort of another way to work on building digital portfolios, a way of documenting and validating their work. So we think it's really, really important, and we're really excited to be able to award these digital badges to all participating youth as well. What it comes down to basically is that Emoti-Con's here to help youth makers connect and share their work. And we get a lot of really positive feedback about that experience all around. Sorry, so I'll just pause again. Does anyone have any questions now? No? Okay. I'm almost done with the talking, I swear. So just a little background about the Design Fellows also. You'll see them throughout the day. There may be some from your organization. We had a really amazing batch of applicants this year from many Hive organizations and also from high schools across New York City. And these youth have been working really hard to contribute to this event in a number of ways. And I love being able to have this opportunity to highlight their great work and the impact that they have on the event. So they are here for you, so they're here for feedback, they're here for helping throughout the day. They play a huge role in the day and in helping youth presenters get set up, and helping set the tone, and helping keep everything moving. They spread the word about Emoti-Con. If you were at Playtech Saturday at Parsons a couple weeks ago, you would have seen them there demoing their game. They'll be at the Digital Ready Maker Party, like I mentioned. They've been, a couple of them have been to the Hive youth meetups over the past couple of months as well. So they're really ambassadors for Emoti-Con. They've been working on graphic design projects. This is the evolution of our logo over the years, and the newest iteration is yet to be unveiled, but will be soon, thanks to the design fellows. They've also been really big on social media. I would strongly encourage you to check out, in particular, our Facebook and Twitter. The students have been taking turns posting week by week, and they have some amazing and hilarious and fascinating stuff up there. So if you're not already following Emoti-Con everywhere you can be, I would definitely recommend it. They also are the originators of Emoti-Con's Instagram account, which an old person like me neglected to set up in the past. So they're officially representing Emoti-Con, as I mentioned. They would design that game that I mentioned from the beginning of the day. So they'll be leading a huge 200-person icebreaker team challenge extravaganza at the beginning of Emoti-Con, called Pineapple. They keep the day moving, so they're up on stage, they're helping out, they're giving instructions. They introduce our keynote speakers. This is a little bit about what Kristen, who's one of our design fellows, said about introducing last year's speaker, Anil Dash, who was one of our 3 keynotes last year, who's really excited about the experience and wanted to share that as well. And this is just a bit of feedback that students have given about what it's like to participate in Emoti-Con and what they enjoy about it. So seeing all the great projects, being able to connect with people they didn't previously know. So these are all things that you know have been of great value. A lot of this we've also taken and tried to run with it and expand upon it. So this year, for example, we've had an amazing team working with the steering committee to help try to figure out better ways to even better ways to help youth connect with each other and connect with the many organizations and programs that are represented at Emoti-Con. So you'll see more of that as well. So how to prepare? This is the question that comes up a lot. So this is a brainstorm between myself and students who have participated in Emoti-Con in the past. So start talking about it early. So it's now April, and the end of May feels really far away for a lot of teens. But just start talking about it and don't stop. A really big one is filling out the registration form together. I mentioned that a lot of the information that you fill in there, we're going to hand off directly to the judges. So it's really essential that your students have a say in what goes on there and are the ones to construct their answers there. Questions like, what's the goal of your project? If you had unlimited time and resources, how would you change or add to your project? You know, what is your project designed to do? So sort of these thought-provoking questions that we need to hear directly from the designers on. Practicing table pitches. So during the project fair, there are literally hundreds of people circulating. So it's so helpful if you can work with your students to just think of, you know, what is sort of the 30-second version of me explaining my project and like the 2-minute version of explaining my project. You know, if someone's just walking by and I want to be like, hey, come see my project. It's awesome because it fill in the blank, you know, just have them prepared for that, and then also for the sort of more in-depth walkthrough of, you know, what did I design, why did I design it, who's it for, what do I hope to do with it, so anyone who comes up to their table can get a really great walkthrough, and that your students don't have to be nervous, and you know they can know in advance the kind of things that they want to share and the kind of things that they want to emphasize. And also, like I said, not just talking about what it is, you know, saying like, oh, we made a solar-powered phone charger. Well, that's really awesome by itself. But also, like, why did you make it? How did you get to this point? Like, what was your process? One of the major things about Emoti-Con is that it opens up for a lot of youth sort of ideas about opportunities that they didn't even know existed. So sort of thinking about technology in new ways, thinking about the resources that may be at their disposal also in new ways is really, really valuable. And then lastly, practicing group presentations. So thinking about if your group is one of the 5 finalists to get up on stage, how are they going to give that presentation? It doesn't have to be particularly lengthy or complicated, but just making sure that they have an idea of how they would present together, and make sure that everybody has a part in making that presentation. And I believe it's a cap of 5 minutes for those on-stage presentations, but there's no requirement that you use the entire 5 minutes if that feels too long. So those are the major points. Next up is getting registered. This is the short link to the registration page. And just, another reminder that youth should be filling it out with you. And then the other question we get a lot is about who can come. So we give priority to groups of youth who are presenting projects and the chaperones who are coming along with them. We do typically have space to accept anyone who signs up as an audience member, so someone who wants to come and see Emoti-Con and be a part of the day but doesn't have a project to present. But because space is limited, we always sort of initially put all audience members on a waiting list and then let them know, give them confirmation a week or so before the event that, like, yes, we definitely have space for you. Like I said, it's never been an issue so far. We've been really lucky and really excited to be able to bring in everybody who wants to come. But just as a heads up, if that's a notification you're getting from the registration site or from me, that's why. That's the background. So this is just to sort of walk through the registration process is slightly different from last year. Instead of trying to fill out, in the past we used Eventbrite and you had to like fill in information for every single individual student or chaperone. Now you can register as a group. So you click on that big pink register here and you'll be asked to register as a presenter group. So that is chaperone plus youth, however many youth are coming with you, or as an audience member. So which again can be either an individual or a chaperone bringing a group of students. So just it's a little different. So I just wanted to spell that part out. And definitely, if you have any questions at any point, you can feel free to email me. You can also update registration if you need to after you send it in. Although, of course, we appreciate if you have all the information you need before sending it in. So that is that. And then just as a reminder, you can also keep getting updates and information and stay in touch with us all over social media. So that is everything. Oh, this is one that I think the students put in when we did this we did this presentation live, or I did it with a couple of the design fellows, and I took out some of the GIFs that they had put in because they were funny. But anyway, so are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on space. First of all, it's really exciting to hear you talk about being open to just kind of seeing the design process and prototypes. I also agree with that. And we have basically, in Innovation Labs, we have a lot of kids doing a lot of projects at 3 different branches. So in terms of limited space for number of projects, what do you expect to be able to accommodate? Because we're kind of thinking as a team about like who we want to encourage to come, because like are we encouraging the top couple, like most progressed projects, I guess, from our branches, or are we welcoming lots of kids? So yeah, is there kind of like a number expectation for projects that you guys can handle?
I think our overall cap is probably around, not a whole lot more than we had last year. If you were there last year, it was pretty full. So probably overall we have room for about 45 projects, but we are also absolutely willing to get creative and try to fit in as many as we can. Just to give you an idea of what the setup is, because this might help make a determination, I think you might have seen in some of the pictures, or you might have been able to see, basically we have these folding tables that are about 6 feet by 2.5 or 3 feet, I think, and each project gets half a table, is how we generally assign it. So it would be, so like if you have, and we group them together with their organization. So if your group is bringing 6 projects, we would give you 3 tables in a row. If it turns out that there's not enough space for, or that we end up being really concerned about space, we may reach out and just say, hey, you have 6 projects. Is there any way you think you could fit it into 5 spaces or something like that? Because I know like one thing that happened before, a couple of years ago, there was an NYPL group that brought a project, and basically it was just, everything was on laptops. It was all digital, so we were able to just put some extra laptops on the table to show all the extra projects, and that worked fine. Okay,
great. That's really helpful. My only random question was just curious what platform you're thinking of in terms of the badging, or what that would actually look like. Oh
yeah, we use Mozilla Open Badges. And so currently, I think so they have to students to accept the badge have to sign up for the Mozilla Backpack, and then actually took out. I had a bunch of slides that were like the step by step of how badges work, and I was like, oh, that's boring. No one's gonna want to see that. I spoke too soon. Yeah, so it's through Mozilla Open Badges. So students sign up for a backpack, and then basically anytime they get assigned a badge, or they'll get an email notification and they just click on it and they add it to their backpack, and then they can share over. The last time I looked at, I think they could share over Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and I think there was maybe a fourth one that I'm forgetting right now. But so there are a couple different platforms that they can share. So basically, and what happens is that we attach a description to the badge, so it'll say like this is why the student was awarded this badge, but they can also fill in notes like on their own project, for example. And then here, let me see, I can do a screen share. And then what we do every year is we post descriptions of the winning projects alongside the badges. So, so that they're also they have bragging rights forever on our website. And here I'll show you real quick what that looks like. There we go. So this is emoticon.org, and then if you just go to past events, so like you can see last year, for example, there's a video. So every year we do a video recap, and then you can see the winners and see a description of the project that they created, what their organization was, first name, last initial, and what badge they earned. And then I believe. Oh, and then that's last year's Keynote Speakers. I believe on our homepage, just going back to our homepage, that the badges are there and you can click on any of them for a description. So, like, this is what it means if you won the Most Social Impact Award, awarded to the Emoti-Con project with the greatest potential to make meaningful change within a local or global community that it serves. So this, we keep these evidence pages here as well, so students can easily explain what they won and why.
Awesome. Thanks for showing.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
That's all for me.
Great. Yeah, did anyone else have any questions?
I have a quick question. Parent spectators, is that something you're open to, or maybe not?
Yeah, totally. They can sign up as audience members, or you can just sign them up as part of your group. Either way, whatever's easier for you to navigate. Yeah, we typically have room for parents. I think the only thing to be aware of is that the event is geared towards middle school and high school, so we're totally fine with having elementary kids like come with, assuming they're coming with parents as audience, but just to have it on the parents' radar that that's what they're walking into.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, I have a question. I was, I teach at a number of different schools that they have their own in-house after-school programs and don't have organizations working with them. And I wanted to know, are they invited? Like, can I just send an email to my principal and be like, hey, if you have any kids who are science project cats and have a tech thing that they want to do, if you get someone to come with them, they can come through the Emoti-Con?
Yeah, totally. I'm really glad you asked that. So I need to work more on updating the way I talk about it, because in the past, Emoti-Con was limited just to youth participating in Hive programming or programming from Hive organizations, but we've actually opened it up this year. So I think that General Assembly is one of our partners now, and they work with just like as their staff members go out as volunteers in high schools and work on kids with projects, and I think some of their kids will be coming in. So it doesn't have to be through an organized thing. It can be something that they're doing. The one thing I think that is one of the debates that we've sort of had to have with NYPL is whether we can publicly encourage unaccompanied minors to come, just as far as liability stuff. And I think that the conclusion is that they are supposed to sign up with an adult chaperone, unfortunately, unless they're over 18. Yeah. But that chaperone can just be a teacher or even a parent if it's if it's a student-driven project.
Can it be a judge and who's not judging the project?
It's not going to be good.
Oh, it's not.
No. No.
No,
Well, I'm going to tell them they need to find a...
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. That sounds good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's free lunch, so... Okay, that's one thing. If you need one more way to get your student types, I forgot to mention there's free lunch, and everyone gets a swag bag of goodies. So we do like a drawstring backpack, and everybody gets a T-shirt, a water bottle, a USB bracelet, and stickers, and I think some other things. So free goodies for everyone. Cool. Any other questions, thoughts?
I think this is all great.
Cool. Yeah, and again, just so that it looks, I have a little like view counter for people who are on YouTube instead of Google+. YouTubers, if you want to send me a chat or an email at naomi@mouse.org. I'm double checking it right now, and. Okay, and it looks like someone emailed to say that they can't use chat but are watching. Hi, Zach Reg. Yeah, so if you want to email me a question or chat me a question, I can hang out online. If folks need to go, though, I totally understand. But thanks so much for being here, and we're really excited for Emoti-Con coming up. And you can feel free to keep sending questions my way by email or give me a call or whatever is easiest for you.
Thanks, Naomi. Bye.
Yeah, thanks so much. So long.
Thank you for doing this. I know it wasn't originally planned. It's really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm really glad Beth pointed out that doing something after school is like the ultimate time that after school educators can't come to. So good feedback.
Thanks so much.
All right, thanks. So
Bye.
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 Okay.